If I'm a monkey, though, I can get away with it.
Yeah, but you're not, Sam. You're not a monkey.
That doesn't hold up in
You
court,
can't
Sam.
get away with it. You can't be like, yeah, but I identify as a monkey. Right? It doesn't work like that.
Hello, one and all, and welcome to Killer Rabbit Podcast. It's Yorkshire's #1 alternative news podcast, where tonight I'm excited to reveal that there will be some alternative news, and there was much rejoicing. Can you believe that, ladies and gentlemen? There's going to be alternative news on an alternative news podcast. How fucking out there are we?
That
How
is a plot
crazy.
twist.
Yeah, absolutely crazy plot twist.
Who would have expected that?
Not me.
Nobody.
Not me.
Nobody. No. Not Billy. Not Simon.
Timmy.
Not Peter. I'm just proving that I know
Not
other
Greg.
names here.
You've got a list. I'm telling you, you've got
Yeah.
a list of other names in front of you. That's why you wanted to do this segment. That's why you wanted to intro like that. Because you're like, I'm going to read my list out. People will think I know names now. I've been having name
I've got-
lessons.
I've got one of those baby name books, and I'm just going to go
Just
through
been
it and
reading
pick
it
out a
every
random
night.
page.
I'm going to memorize all these names.
That's the alternative news story. Sam
That's
learns
it.
names.
Sam learns how to say
It's
other
about as
people's
alternative as
names.
it can get.
I mean, it's about time that I learn other people's names. Really,
It really
at the age of
is.
38.
Preferably.
I should know more than 4 names, right?
Right.
So
I need to learn one for every year. 38 names.
Oh God, that sounds horrific. I'm not sure I can do that. I'm not sure there is that many names out there.
Do you not think? There's got to be. It must be a short book you've got.
I've
like
got the
one
little book of
page.
baby names rather than the big book of baby
The
names.
little
It's just
book
one
in
for
big
every
font.
alphabet letter.
Right, yeah, I'm joined. Of course, you've heard them. We're all talking. It's
We're
all
not
going a
talking.
bit crazy.
This is just Sam.
Is this just in my mind?
No,
This is
you're
all
just
Sam.
doing all these other voices.
All the made up
'Cause
people
I'm
in
Sam.
my mind.
I'm
And I'm
Sam.
Sam.
I'm Sam. Sorry.
Okay, well tonight I am joined, ladies and gentlemen, by Sam. Hi Sam, how you doing,
Hello,
Sam?
everybody. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, Killer Rabbit, #1 Yorkshire. Yay.
Yeah, and I'm also joined, of course, by the big booming baritone himself. It's Sam.
Hey, hello, Killer Rabbit, alternative news.
Hey. And today, what we've got coming up is I love the pew, pew, pew.
So yeah, it's Adam Chase and Benson, everybody. It wasn't other
Sam and
Sams.
Sam.
That was
It's
all a
the-
big ruse.
It's
Fall
such a
for it.
ruse.
Did you fall for it? We got
Yeah,
you.
Get in touch in the
We
comments.
got you again.
Get in touch in the comments if you were confused or rused by our ruse.
We definitely got all the rused by the ruse.
Surely you can be rused by a ruse.
Is that the whole thing? Is that the whole purpose of a ruse? To fully ruse somebody.
If you ruse somebody via a ruse, they
Then they
have
are
been
rused.
rused by
The ruse.
definition, I think.
They would not be amused should they be rused by the ruse.
No, but that's a
And then-
different thing altogether,
and then-
because you can amuse someone who would then be amused, but I'm talking about rusing someone who wants to be a ruse.
You could amuse someone as part of a ruse.
Get in touch in the comments if you've been aroused by this segment of the podcast where you thought we were all Sam.
And then the American police turn up and aroused.
Check your hard drives.
Aroused.
It's
very
weird being sat in a
silly.
room by myself laughing.
You're
It's
just
kind
going
of manic,
crazy.
really.
So, you know, we could just be like in like some sort of. This could all be in just one of our heads. We could just be nuts in some like padded room, pretending like thinking we're on a podcast. How do we know this is real?
Well, now you've got me questioning it.
Do you
That's
know
a
what I
bit
saw
scary.
earlier on?
Yeah.
What did you see earlier on?
I don't know. He just said something to make you think. Ooh, it makes you think a little bit.
Hang on, you
it
just
made you
said-
think.
Guess, you said, guess what I saw earlier on? So I said, what? And then you went, oh, well, I don't really know. That doesn't make sense.
No, it was something that says this will make you think a little bit from what you've just said.
it actually
How
said
do we
that.
know? How do we know this is an actual podcast? And it said there's no sort of like empirical evidence that this is a Thursday. There's no evidence anywhere that this is a real Thursday. We've all just
tell
got to
each
have
other.
faith and trust that somebody's been keeping count since it started. whenever it started, and I was like, oh yeah, shit. Maybe
Somebody could have just
maybe
forgot
it's-
one day and been like, "Yeah, what day
Yeah.
is it?" Like, oh yeah, it's Wednesday, mate. Yeah, definitely
Yeah, well,
Wednesday.
Well, surely
Definitely.
they always judged it by what day they put the bins out. If the bins are out. It's got to be, I imagine in
When
in
the mythical
25,000
beasts,
BC.
the bin men turn up, that's a Monday. Those.
I mean, you just hear about it in Greek mythology. You've got Zeus, Poseidon, brown bin day, green bin day.
Binocles.
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 Binasticus.
The Binators. All sorts. Sam, I'm more interested. The other day there was like, was it today? It might have been yesterday, but because somebody lost track of one of the days, I have no idea what day we're on.
Oh dear.
You started tweeting some manic story.
Oh, the bus story.
on the
It
the
was
old
yesterday.
twits.
It was literally yesterday.
Or
Yeah,
yesterday.
It was. In
What was
real
going on?
time, yeah, it was yesterday. There was literally a couple that were having a big fallout in front of me. And I thought it was all going to kick off, and then it kind of fizzled out, and they made up by the time they got off the bus.
Fucking
So,
terrible.
They
You
were
know, I thought-
shagging by
I
the
thought-
time they got off of the bus. Then
yeah, I thought I'll start this. I'll start some live tweeting thing, and let's see how interesting it gets. And get progressively less interesting, unfortunately. But
that's
yeah, I thought-
journalism for you. That's why journalists make up half the story.
Do you know what you should have
well,
done,
that's what-
Sam?
It crossed my mind. It crossed my mind to say, "Oh, now a dinosaur's here," but
There's asteroids. There's green bins.
When they started making
I-
up, you should have gone up to the guy and been like, "Yeah, right, you've been sleeping with my bird," and probably kicked it off again.
Oh, I should have done.
You should
No,
have.
I'm
You
just going to go
could've gone-
sit at the back of the bus again and just get back on my phone. And please don't engage with me anymore.
Yeah. I'm just
Apart
going to
from
walk
with each
away
other
and I'm
about the
angry with you,
situation.
and I know, but she's
Yeah,
going to tell you
whoa.
off. Bah.
Gosh. Don't you ruin my live tweeting session, you bastards. Can I just point out the unexpected trash talk from before as well? That was
about
nicely
Ben, yeah.
shoehorned in, that, Benson. I enjoyed.
You
'cause
know,
we
I
haven't
love
done it.
shoehorning a bit of TT in every now and again.
We haven't done any trash talk in a while, and I think people are getting a bit not worried, but a bit perturbed by the fact that there is no podcast out there covering
They're
their big
questioning.
needs at the
I
moment.
tell you what,
Yeah.
though,
Questioning their sanity.
I tell you what, on a trash talk topic, my
Yes.
black bin didn't
tra-
get emptied last week.
Oh my god!
Oh
Did
my
you not put it
god!
in the
And
designated bin
everything, it
area?
was closed. It was out front. Everything was in bags. They didn't empty it. The bastards.
Why have they emptied other people's though?
Well, they've emptied some of the street, but others didn't get emptied.
So is this lazy bin people?
I don't
Is this
know.
What's happened here?
I don't know what's happened here, but like the next door neighbour to the left got emptied, but to the right didn't, and there were a few more. But then others just did get emptied. Like, what are they doing?
Did you
What's
know
going on?
that
Disaster.
you can contact the council if they've missed a bin collection and they'll come back around and get it?
And they'll
Well,
fire the bin people responsible
And they'll file the
just
bin people
just before
responsible.
Christmas.
That's trash talk corporate
well,
time.
this is it. So now I'm fuming that my bin's not been emptied.
Well, this is a new house, isn't it? Have you
Yeah,
upset
exactly.
some people, Adam? Have you been upsetting your neighbours and
No,
all the bin
not that
people?
I know. I haven't
The bin
spoken to the bin
people.
people, but I might wait. I might get up early and be like, "Oi, I'll just watch them out the window and make sure they empty it."
Yeah, just have your window open, just watching, just glaring.
They,
just
they
making
turn up
sure.
and I'll just open the curtain and just
Yeah.
stare, just watch.
I'm a watching you. You will take my bin. I don't know why you're Italian.
Was it the recycling or the normal bin?
The normal
black bin.
It was the black bin. I said
normal
the black
bin.
bin.
All
The
right.
normal
you
bin.
need to switch
not
on
the
for trash
green
talk,
bin.
Vincent.
Green bin's been emptied. That's fine.
It's the most important part of. Oh, that's the green bin can. You can go a couple of weeks without the green bin. but
Exactly. The
bin-
black bin's
Oh, and that's
integral.
week out. I mean,
Yeah.
your bin collections every 2 weeks for each
Yeah.
coloured bin.
Why is
Oh,
that?
they rotate,
That's
they
ridiculous.
rotate, yeah.
But that's
Because it
cheap.
Well,
used to be
used-
every week, so it wasn't a bad thing if they missed a week because the week after it would be picked
So
up.
now
but
it's a bad
just-
thing.
It used to be one in four, didn't it? So the green recycling bin would get picked up every fourth go.
Yeah,
And now
yeah,
we're
yeah,
just doing
yeah.
No,
better as a society. God, we are talking about trash talk here, lads.
Yeah, well, this is it. We've got the trash talk on, haven't we?
So
Yeah,
back
well,
in my day, it was once every 4 weeks.
4 weeks? What are you talking about?
in my
Yo, well,
it was
lucky.
every 6 weeks, and they might take half of the bin, but the left they'd just throw back at the house.
Yo,
In my
lucky.
day,
had
we
to
didn't
walk-
bloody recycle. We just set fire to everything, just burnt it, and all the smoke and pollution into atmosphere, like proper people.
You're the reason why we have to recycle now.
It's lovely to have a bit of trash talk anyway, so thank you for bringing that along to the episode, Adam. We do hope that your bin is collected.
You snuck it in, Benson. You were
Yeah,
the one
you
who made it
started
happen,
it.
like
How-
an
how-
errant finger.
If anybody would like to
high
come and
school
collect
party.
my bin, then
How
feel
did
free.
I just have bins on the mind? So most of my stories or most of my conversation revolves around bin-related topics.
Well, this is why we're in a primary position to be able to deliver Yorkshire's #1 bin trash-based talking podcast of bin refuse,
That is true.
where we never refuse the refuse news.
that is a
I went to get
ruse.
No, that's not a ruse. That is not a ruse. That's the opposite.
Ruse
of a
to get the
ruse.
refuse news that we refuse to do the news.
in the nude.
In
That's
the
how we do
nude.
it. Yeah, so for anybody that's not been following, we are all remote still at the moment. Yeah, we've had a lot of shit going on, so we're all in our own homes. And this week, this particular episode, we're doing this remotely without the power of the internet. We are legitimately not using the internet.
I mean,
to
at some
record
point, the
this.
internet will come into play when it gets shared, I suppose. But for now,
Yeah.
But now
I
we've gone
imagine-
back to our childhood, really.
There'll be people wondering how we're putting this together so flawlessly and
we've all just guessed.
professionally without
Well-
the Well, I'll just guess what
We're
each
all
of them was
guessing,
going to
so we
say.
say, right, make the episode however long, and then guess
Just
that we're all
talk to
saying it and see if it
yourself.
matches up.
For an hour, and then we'll see if it all matches up.
I mean,
The
that's-
laughs are in the right place and everything.
I don't know why you're laughing. That's exactly what we're doing.
That's how we
So at
do
this
it,
point
yeah.
now,
We just
you're
start
talking about
in
Big Mac
tune.
and fries, and I'm talking about.
I do like Big Macs and fries.
You see,
And what are
See,
you talking
we're
about?
perfect.
About
Remember that
touching
time when I
monkeys?
recorded an entire episode literally by myself?
Oh yeah,
This
I
is
do
actually-
remember that.
This is actually pioneering what we're doing at the moment, though. Recording
Nobody
a
has
podcast
ever
together
recorded like
without the internet. I genuinely don't think we have.
Analog podcast recording.
What we've had, you see, we've had an issue. Each week we're getting different issues, and we're just trying to iron those issues out. We were recording last week, and we spent over an hour trying to record an intro, and it just kept going wrong because
Of the
internet and the fact that Benson lives somewhere that doesn't have the internet as yet.
It's hard when you live in the rainforest.
Yeah, some kind
It's
of
hard to get the fiber optics through the wet leaves. That's all it is.
So we're doing it without the internet right now. I'm going to leave it up to you, the wonderful listener, to maybe work out, maybe guess, maybe come to us and say how you think we're actually managing to record this. But like I say, I think it's pioneering. I don't think it's ever been done before. I think we're trailblazers. I think we're trendsetters. I think we are the most
Podcast
unique-
influencers.
Yeah, we are pinfluencers, if you will. Will you?
I will. I will.
Do we
You
have
will.
to replace the string every week?
And we've got to make sure it doesn't get wet, which is going to make things very difficult. in this
Especially living in
country.
England, yeah.
So first of all, move to Australia. Second of
Yes.
all, get
Okay.
high quality industrial string.
Industrial
it's gotta be
string.
good. It's got to be good quality string.
Maybe
You remember when we
nylon,
tried it
though.
with?
It's
when
going
we
to be
tried
that
it
kind
with
of
Phil-
string that you don't know how long it is. And,
Yeah,
uh,
when we-
Yeah.
When we tried it with silly string, it was just awful, wasn't it? It just all kind of disintegrated immediately.
It was a bit silly.
wasn't it?
It was a bit silly. It was a bit silly.
You
Yeah.
see, that's how in
what-
sync we are. They can't believe
That-
we're recording all this separately.
I know, and it's just going to work perfectly. We know it's going to work perfectly because we're that in sync.
That's why we thought it was the perfect ingredient, though, because it was called silly string. Like silly
We thought that
podcast,
would be
silly
making
string.
silly.
Let's go.
It's going to be
Yeah,
if
silly.
we'd
no,
gone for
It's going to be
if we
silly
paid a bit
audio
more
and everything.
and we got the silly steel string, that would have been good. I think.
Silliest
yeah.
string.
Silliest string. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Is before that is the sillier string.
The silliest string. The silliest string.
That's
it's
that's
just-
the mid level silly string.
Yeah,
is
it's
sillier
not.
string.
It's not.
And then
it's
there's
not great.
almost silliest.
Oh, there's 4 levels of silly string, and
Well, there's actually 63 levels, but we can't list them all off on this episode. We've tried them all. We're now on. I know I can't give away the trade secrets, but I think it's a good shout. That Sam. Listeners, comment below. I don't know how you're going to comment below.
below what? Below what?
Below Benson.
Below where you are now, like write it on the floor of your house.
Right on
Go
the floor.
on to
In the find it, man.
in the
Find it.
Scribe it into the footwell of your car, you know?
Yeah, well, you might as well. It might get rid of the damp
Chisel
problem
it
that one of our
into a
listeners is
tree.
having.
That's a niche reference, that.
Did we ever find out if he solved his damp problem?
Shout out to Mr. Court. No, I don't think we did. He gave an absolute belter of a pun after after last week's episode in relation to your butthole, Benson. So there's people making puns about your ass.
It's amazing what you can do without the internet. What was the reference? I must have missed that.
I think it was Doctor Strange Lube, which I enjoyed, and then the sub heading to that film and lots of other well worked and worded puns. So yeah,
I'll have to have a look.
Well done, Mr.
On that topic, well done, Mr. Court. I think you were going to say there, so apologies for interrupting you. I'll make sure to have a look at that. The only issue I've got a massive issue with not with my bumhole, but with the world equivalent of the bumhole, which is social media. For some reason, all of my meta products, if you will, for some reason coming up showing me info like 3 or 4 weeks old, some of which is like 2 months old. Obviously, Adam, we had this situation where I liked one of your photos on Instagram and it looked like I'd been stalking you. So maybe I'll see this. Maybe I'll see this comment from Mr. Court in about 4 weeks' time, and I go, "That was good." That, and by then, the funniness has worn off. So I'm missing all the relevant stuff happening.
Benson's
on Facebook.
algorithm is 4 weeks behind. Benson, what does that say about you?
My algorithm's just got a +4 week on it. No?
This still feels like the lady is protesting too much to me. You know, I think Benson's been doing some online stalking.
Yeah,
he's been
same.
caught out,
he's,
and
he's
then
desperate to set his story and tell his story in his way. He's like, no, I'm not. I swear down before everyone asks.
Yeah.
Okay,
I can immortalize it into a podcast, and then nobody will ever be able to question my.
Well, I've got the evidence now.
lurky
I
ways.
could submit this in court, not Mr. Court,
could.
but I could submit it in actual court.
Don't submit it in him.
I can't put it in him. Like,
Don't do that. Don't do that.
so unfortunately, the only one that seems to stay on time, shall we say, is Twitter, and the amount of shite that's on there. I wish it was 4 weeks behind. Like,
yeah, Twitter is getting worse and worse and worse. And if you do follow us on there, if you've noticed I've not been as active, it's because that place is driving me fucking nuts.
Oh, I hate
it was
it
bad
all.
enough before Space Karen, and it's just even worse now.
Space Karen.
Fuck
So
the internet.
instead of
Karen?
talking about Elon Husk,
Elon Tusk.
I think I want to move on, if that's okay, chaps, because I have got an alternative news story to discuss on the podcast today. And instead of me being a negative Nelly and talking about social media, I want to talk about this story. Do I have both of your permissions to continue?
Before that, and just to split the podcast up, can we have a sound effect of choice here, just to take us nicely into that alternative news story? Would that be okay with everybody as well?
What kind of sound effect? Like a turtle humping a dog or something?
Well, we have the standard transitional sound effect, which we could
That's
use.
true.
I don't think.
But now you've drawn attention to it, I feel like we need to pick a special one.
I will do the sound of a car crashing into an air horn.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Can it have a nice little long screech into the crash, just so it announces itself as a. What the fuck was that?
That was me.
Did somebody just do a sound effect?
That's exactly, yes.
We do make our own sound effects.
I know we do. That was really believable. I thought there was a cat on the call. I thought there was like an aggravated cat.
Also. Okay, so I'm going to put
Do you
the
not
sound
know that our
effect
producer is
in
a
here.
cat called Mittens? Did you forget that they're on the call listening?
Sorry, Mittens. I forget that you're here in spirit. And because you're
Spirit.
dead. Anyway.
What did you do to Mittens?
Yeah, we got a dead cat.
Why
that's
did you
producing
kill
us.
Mittens? What happened?
I didn't kill him. It was a political scandal.
Catgate.
Dead cat. Anybody?
What
dead
happened?
Cat? No, never
What
mind.
happened?
Never mind. So yeah, Benson, are you going to insert that sound effect soon, or
I
is there going to be
inserted
a little bit more preamble
I
before
inserted
that?
it about 2 minutes ago, so it's going to have to be inserted again because all of this will be kept in as well.
Another sound effect. It's going to have to
The
be a
same
different
one.
one then.
The
No,
same
one. No,
Yeah.
no. I can't be having. No, that'll ruin the
Look,
algorithm.
we're not fucking about with sound effects just because I'm editing this episode, Sam. Right,
Well,
you're
can't
gonna
you just-
get
can-
you're gonna
can't
get a
you-
stock sound effect, and that's it.
No, can you?
Yeah,
can
that's
you do me
it.
a
That's
fa-
it. That's right.
No,
the
please.
sound effects already
I
happened,
need
so
the
none
sound
of this.
of four
None of this
clowns
is
riding a
beneficial to anyone new.
unicycle with a seal clapping
It-
behind it.
I beg to differ because what I'm going to suggest is if you would please be so kind as to put the cow sound effect in because
So, chaps,
Chat.
question for you both.
yeah,
What's
Mittens,
the
are you
question?
recording?
This
I
is for
think-
the.
I'm
for
just
fuck's
checking.
sake.
Mittens is recording.
Right,
Meow.
Mittens is recording. I don't know how
All
a
right,
dead
yeah.
cat can record, but okay. What is
Well,
the weirdest?
if you don't believe, then
Sam,
they
will
can't.
you shut
can
the fuck
they?
up? Just shut up.
If you don't believe, then Mittens will never stay alive.
Exactly, and then it won't be recorded, and then this
Believe
whole
it,
thing's
and then
futile.
What's the point?
Mittens isn't a fairy from Peter Pan. Right?
Anyway, we're giving away trade secrets again about Mittens. Shh.
Right, okay. Have we got it all out of our system, Sam?
What Mittens?
Okay. What is the wildest thing either of you have done whilst drunk? I know that, Sam, you fall into shoes and stuff, but craziest thing you've done, and you don't have to go into it because I'm going to top it with what I've got here, but, or, you know, one of the craziest things you've done whilst you were drunk, go.
Tried to buy a Burger King with a Buzz Lightyear.
With a
What,
Bud
just
Light?
like the actual
but-
place or the meal.
In yeah, tried to buy the whole
franchise.
company. Yeah.
You said a Burger King.
So on my 18th birthday in the centre of Leeds, I don't know
You
why.
and fast foods in the centre of Leeds, man. Like,
No.
Yeah, this is how most of my stories go, isn't it? But I found a fully operational. I was going to say full size, but it wasn't full size. No, it was full size. It was full size. A fully operational, full size Buzz Lightyear action figure. That
was this in the
worked.
Disney store?
It had the no. It was just on the pavement.
On the shelf in the Disney store.
Some kid's
No.
fucking toy on the side of the street. So like, I'm having
Yeah,
that.
it was just in some child's pram. No, it was just on the floor, and I picked it up. It was fully operational, all the lights, the wings popped out, there was nothing broken, and I was pissed, and it was my 18th birthday. You can imagine how pissed I was, and yeah, I thought that's the coolest thing ever that I've been able to find that, and then yeah, I went into a Burger King and ordered a meal, and then they asked for the payment, and I was like, "Do you take Buzz Lightyear?" they didn't, apparently, unfortunately, because I was gonna. I thought that was probably worth more than a Burger King meal, and I still stand by that. To be honest with you, would you not think that that's worth more than a?
I
than
imagine
Burger King meal?
a full-sized, fully working Buzz Lightyear from the shelf of the Disney store.
No
would be-
shelf involved. There was
It
no.
would be
It
worth-
wasn't boxed.
There was no
Would
shells.
be but you stole it. But
Yeah,
it
it
would be
wasn't
worth. It would be worth more than a Whopper.
It
Yeah.
would be worth more than a
Exactly.
Whopper. You are right.
So Adam, can you top that? Can you top? Did you get a full-size Woody and get a McDonald's with it?
I've had a few Woodies, but
Yeah, full size ones on a night out.
Full-size Woody on a night out on your 18th, and then you got a McDonald's for it.
no, not really. I don't know. Crazy things. It was about. We did walk past a building site about 3 or 4 in the morning when we were pretty drunk when we were used, and they'd left a load of porcelain toilet, brand new, just on the side.
Oh dear!
Yeah.
So
Don't
you
think
took
there was
them to a
much.
Burger King.
we tried to buy a McDonald's actually, but the building.
What the full franchise or just a
the
meal?
building itself.
Yeah, the actual building of that particular McDonald's. Wow.
Yeah, no. So that's probably the craziest.
So-
I mean, what
so
would
what-
you class as crazy?
Well, I'll tell you what's crazy. So
Okay, come on then.
I'm glad that you're going to tell us what's crazy and you weren't just going to leave it at that.
Please just
So
tell us what is
well,
crazy,
I'm gonna
and
say
then we'll
'cause
leave it there.
yours were
I'm
pretty.
not bothered about the
your-
story. Just what's crazy.
I'm
You're-
sure
you're-
ours were tame in comparison.
Yours were pretty watery in comparison because my head title is "A drunk man faces 8 years in prison for invading Polish town in a Russian tank."
Was the man Polish or Russian?
Now, the last time someone... we're going to get to that. I was going to say the last time Poland got invaded, it wasn't by a drunk person in a tank, let me tell you.
No,
so
there
it
were
brought back
drugs
some horrible
instead, I
memories
think.
for some people.
I was annoyed by a tank just today. Do you know?
You were
You were
annoyed
what,
by a tank.
I was annoyed by a tank.
You
yeah.
were
Just
annoyed
annoyed.
by a tank.
Yeah.
Was the tank
So-
specifically like targeting you to annoy you, or did you just like look
Yeah,
at it and go,
yeah.
that's annoying?
It blew me up and really pissed me off. No,
Right.
I was in King's Cross train station earlier today.
That's in London.
There was a Cockney family, and
A
they'd
Cockney
obviously
family.
Cockney.
Cockney, yeah. And they obviously hadn't seen each other for a while. It was like I don't know. They could have been cousins, brothers, sisters. I don't know. But they were talking. They were talking about a young nephew or son or something like that. And he kept saying, "Oh, he loves Thomas the Tank. Absolutely loves Thomas the Tank." Anyway, so he got this Thomas the Tank, and then for his birthday, he got this wonderful Thomas the Tank. He absolutely loves Thomas the Tank.
Thomas is
And I
our
was stood
tank.
next to him, just going engine, engine, engine.
Thomas is not
Tom-
a tank; he is a tank engine.
Well, you've heard the theme tune, haven't you? Thomas the Tank.
Da, da, da.
In fairness, the theme doesn't say Thomas the Tank.
It doesn't even have words, does it?
It's completely wordless. But
What are you on about? The theme tune?
Yeah.
yeah.
Thomas the
just
Tank. No,
goes,
it's not.
da,
It's
da,
Thomas
da,
the
da,
Tank
da,
engine.
da.
Why do you think the syllables are the perfect amount for the
The
melody?
not that you've just proved the not the
It's
perfect
like
amount.
an
That
extra
didn't fit
Thomas
at
the
all.
Tank engine.
No, da 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 da. That's 8
It's
syllables.
an extra
Thomas
syllable.
the Tank engine. There's 2. You're missing 2 syllables. There's no lyrics in that song. I'm more annoyed at this now than those fucking twats in the train station. There's no lyrics to Thomas the Tank Engine theme. I'm not having that. Ringo Starr narrated it. Fair enough. That's a fact.
The
But there was no
Beatles did
lyrics
not
to
sing
it.
to the fucking tune. And there probably is like some recording somewhere. Thomas the Tank and Henry.
But yeah,
Can
Thomas the
engine
Tank
be
would have
under
been.
under the sea, Paul.
It would have been a very different kids show, wouldn't it? If it was just a personified panzer just fucking tearing into enemy territory and blowing up German foes.
One of
I
them
don't
gets
know.
annoyed
Fucking
and just takes out a few villagers.
Yeah, they just got Ringo Starr going, and then he blew up everything.
Got really angry and destroyed all the nearby towns.
Oh, Thomas, you have been a naughty tank.
Just a smouldering wasteland behind it.
It sounds like the giraffe poo situation all over. They were calling Thomas the Tank. Thomas the Tank found giraffe poo on the floor, so started blasting.
There was
Fat
shells
controller
everywhere.
said, Thomas, stop being such a naughty tank. So Thomas shot him in the face
Boom! The fucking corpses
with a
everywhere.
56 caliber armor piercing round, and then
Tore
thought,
straight through
that
his
was a bit
fucking
over
head."
the top for a human. Anyway, let's get back to my story.
No, I like this story.
Yeah, I prefer it. You'll be surprised. You know how we're all recording this without knowing what each other's saying? Well, we've described the entire fucking story.
It's going to be fantastic, that.
But you know, this person in King's Cross is innocently tankifying, which is similar to misgendering, tankifying a tank engine in London, and then that has now made it into our podcast. Nobody is safe. Nobody.
You can't mistankify something.
What if they might be a listener that we're not aware of, and they might be sat there going, "Oh, I didn't mean to. I didn't realise." But yeah, maybe I've helped them change the error of their ways. Maybe I've gone full Scrooge on them and
Just add
helped them fix
engine.
just engine.
You could have just fixed it there and then, Sam. Why didn't you say something? Why don't you go,
Oh, he was
excuse me,
massive.
right?
He was
His
massive and
name is
cockney.
not Thomas the Tank.
You're missing a crucial word there. You've made him into an entirely different vehicle.
You
Stop
don't know
it.
though. There might be a special.
is.
They might have done a special version that for specifically for Cockneys because they didn't like trains. So,
So they had to make it
Oh,
more
yeah.
militarized.
Now that you mention it, it's well known that Cockneys do not like trains. I don't know why they were in that. I don't know why they were in King's Cross at the time.
Maybe they've gone there to stab a train.
Fucking train stabbing. We don't do train spotting. We do train stabbing. You can't.
It is a strange place down south. You never know.
Very strange place.
I can just imagine now, like, I started imagining it. So the Thomas the Tank would be like Thomas the Tank engine, but in army camo colour. And and has a massive gun on its head, and is also a train.
What would
it's very
Percy
confusing.
look like?
It's a train as well. It's not even a tank.
What?
Thomas the
It's
train tank
It's like a
engine.
tank attachment for a train. Just goes on
Yeah, exactly.
tracks.
That's what Hitler had built. He had a rail
A
tank. didn't
tank train.
he? Tank train. That sounds like an American thing. That's not a Cockney thing. That's definitely American.
That's
Tank
something like
trains.
they have on at some fucking arena every other weekend touring the country. Come and see the tank train.
I would watch
Chew,
Tank
fucking
Train.
chew. I'm not even going to bother going into the other story. It's like nowhere near as good as Thomas the Tank
Oh my god, yeah, we went a
and,
bit
and,
crazy,
and his,
didn't we?
and his day out in Poland. Maybe
I
Thomas the Tank.
do want to hear about a guy invading Poland in a tank. I
Okay,
do wanna hear about
so not only did he invade Poland, which have already had their fair share of invasions in the past, he
it.
also
It's like
used...
invade somewhere new. Jeez,
It's done,
be
man.
original. Go invade Skegness or somewhere. Jesus.
Kristallnacht, we've already seen that, for fuck's sake. So, the man was arrested after taking a Second World War Soviet tank for a joyride around a town in
Joyride
Poland.
ride.
A joyride ride.
ride.
A man was arrested after taking a Second World War Soviet Thomas the Tank. Thomas, spelled T-O-M-I-S. Thomas the Tank, for a joyride around a town
Thomas was
in
not
Poland. There we
very
go.
happy about this. Get out of my...
So, but this wasn't like a drunken, like I
thought it was
wouldn't say this is a
drunken.
joyride because this guy has loaded the 40-ton vehicle onto a transporter lorry, taken it to Poland, and then unleashed hell.
Oh,
I
this
wouldn't
guy
say that's a
has actually
joyride.
specifically chosen to drive there on a lorry.
Yeah.
That's not something that you can get away with saying you just did it on a whim.
I did
is
it accidentally, mate. I just fucking ended up here, with a tank.
So the Soviet tank is property of the Polish military. I mean, they must be just struggling budget-wise, so they have to use, World War II tanks.
It's been invaded by their own tank.
They've been invaded by their own. Thomas the Tank has really, he's turned red on them. It's not good. It's not good for the Polish residents. So the T-55 tank, which is at least 60 years old, is the property of the Polish military, but to residents of the town, it appeared more of a threat than a museum piece, so they quickly called the police.
What the fuck are the police going to do against a tank?
Yeah.
999
Stop
police.
tank.
You'll never guess what's happening here, but we're being invaded again.
You imagine that. You think you're getting invaded by an army. Oh, you ring the police, they'll sort it out.
I'm sorry, sir. We can't do anything. You'll need to call the Fat Controller on this one, I'm afraid.
And the fat controller showed up and went, "Not again."
Thomas!
Probably
Tomasz?
shouldn't joke too much
It's
about
It's Polish.
Tomasz.
Tomasz.
Yeah, Tomasz. Apparently, they have there's quite a regular occurrence. Last year, a man in Russia, doesn't say that he's Russian himself. A man in Russia also stole a tank and was heavily intoxicated during his rampage in which he crushed a car. I'm guessing tanks don't have
they
like
just-
ignition keys.
Did they just leave them lying around in Russia? Just
They
like
just leave them
on
lying
the
around.
side of the road?
They put the keys under a plant pot, and or
It's
doormat
like
or
in
something.
it's like in the old American films where the keys are under the sun visor, when they get in.
Get
Sit
in,
down, pull
drop the sun visor down.
There's the keys. Off we go. Bit
Back
of
to the bone
drunken
theme tune kicks
joyriding.
in, puts his sunglasses on. It's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I was just thinking of all the things to drunkenly drive. The
drunk
tank
drive.
is the worst, but the tank's probably the best, isn't it? Because you can't do that much damage to yourself.
It's safe for
in a
the
tank.
driver,
You're
isn't
quite
it?
well protected
Yeah,
in a tank,
It's
and
just not
two
safe
levers.
for
It's not like a
anyone
steering
else.
wheel.
Yeah, everybody else is terrible. But yeah, for you as the driver of that, the inebriated driver of that particular vehicle, then it's a perfect choice, really. So I can see why they do it, and I bet it's a fucking shitload of fun.
I mean, anyone who's played GTA knows that getting in the tank is the safest place to be whilst being chased
also
by
gives
the
you
police.
a 5-star rating.
5 star, yeah, 5 stars immediately. That shit.
Yeah, but
then
you're
you
in a
got
tank.
then you got a tank.
You're in a fucking tank.
Well, this is it. Why did they ring the police?
Yeah,
Well,
they should have got the
here's a question then.
Just ring the
You're
military.
looking out, Adam. You're looking out to see if your bins have been emptied. The
993.
next thing you've got, there's a tank strolling down the road called Thomas.
Strolling.
On
rolling
his
through.
legs.
It's going out for a
Big
nice
ass
morning
trunk.
walk, and then you're.
Tank's just got his legs out
what are
walking
you
down
gonna-
the street.
How
What are you
much
gonna do,
more
ring the
are we going to
police?
personify tanks in this episode? So the tank
I'm
was just
just
sat on a
imagining
bench,
a tank with-
enjoying the day.
I think
feeding the
tanks get a
ducks.
bad rap. I think we should personify them.
I've just got this image of a big blue tank with Thomas's face on it, with these long fucking legs and arms,
That's what I was
walking down the
thinking.
middle of the street. That's about fucking 40 foot tall. I don't think I'd like this.
You can keep the bins, honestly. Don't empty them. It's fine. Just take the bin. You can have it. It's yours, Tomasz.
I can't wait to see what AI does for this when I create Thomas the Tank engine as a tank.
Thomas the Tank. As a tank with legs and arms, though.
With legs and arms. And feeding the ducks at the same time, please.
Yeah,
That's
of
important.
course. You know, there's all that we have to get it all in, and it's in Poland.
That's about the most human activity you can do, isn't it? Feeding the ducks. Can't do anything more human that sets us apart from the other animals is feeding the animals for joy.
You think that sets us apart from all the other animals?
Yeah, not opposable thumbs, none of that shit.
Not shooting each other or any of that shit.
No, none of that shit. Feeding other animals for the joy of feeding other animals.
But monkeys do that,
don't-
right?
No, they throw shit at people. I don't think they're doing that as
They
a
feed animals,
an edible offering.
But everyone throws shit at humans. There's a reason for that. They'll feed like otters and stuff.
But what? Just like nuts? Here, Otter, have a nut.
Yeah, there's like.
I don't think
there's-
otters eating nuts.
I don't
But
think.
what's the reason? They wouldn't do it for like a day out, would they? I used to go with like my grandparents to go feed the ducks. It was a thing. It's like, let's go do that. I can't see other animals doing that. Like monkeys just going, no, let's go sit by the river and
I
feed
think
some
for
otters.
a monkey, every day is a day out.
Do you?
It's a good
That's,
point. It's only
that's-
humans that have day outs, really.
Yeah, I think if we were, I mean, we domesticated ourselves, didn't we? That's our fault. And then
some
we
of them more
force,
than others.
and then we force other animals to be the same way.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. But well, what would you call it then for a monkey if it was doing something different to what it would normally do? If it's like sod swinging through trees today, I'm going to go do something for joy. What would you call that?
But they do stuff for
If it's
joy,
not
don't
if it's not going out though, what would you call it?
monkey having fun,
A monkeying around.
monkeying around, of course. There you go.
Oh, you were setting yourself up there, weren't you? Fucking hell.
I was. Well, I wasn't setting myself up, but you guys have actually set me up.
How have
if you
we?
would like to. Well, would you like to hear some more alternative news sent in by a listener?
Go on then.
Yes.
You would. Do you think we should have a sound effect before this?
Maybe.
I've already inserted it. It's already there. It's happened. We've had the
All
sound
right,
effect.
okay. All right, we just had a sound effect. Did you enjoy it? It was a really good sound effect. I'm sure
I
one of
liked
the
it.
Benson
Thought it
picked
was
the sound
great.
effect there. It was really good.
Best
Great
The
choice,
Thomas the
Benson.
Tank theme tune.
With-
Fun with that
with
one.
With you singing over the top of it.
No, with
Thomas
the
Tank.
is it
Thomas.
Tupac?
Yeah.
Is it Tomasz the Tank though? Not Thomas. Tomasz the Tank.
Tomasz the Tank.
Yeah, and it's
So-
more like a Russian military sound to the music. It's Tomasz.
So before getting into this story, I need to give a bit of a shout out and heads up to our good friends, Pint of Cthulhu podcast. Oh, we love a bit of Cthulhu. We do love a bit of Cthulhu. And
Especially if it's in
your-
pints.
If I Pint of Cthulhu, I love a pint. Not an half. Not a.
Not an eighth.
No, not an A for Cthulhu. I want a pint of Cthulhu. But if you're into your RPG, TTRPG, tabletop role playing games, is that right? Yeah.
That's right.
If you're into
drinking
podcasts
pints.
and role playing games, then go check out Pint of Cthulhu podcast. Good guys, good people, great podcast. Now they've been submitting stories to me for a while, and you might not believe this judging by some of the stories on this podcast, but we do actually have a filter. We don't put every story out there. They have to be officially KRP certified. And I'll be honest, Planet Cthulhu have struggled to get the mark in recent times. You know, so yeah, sometimes it's gone a little bit too far. Sometimes I'm just like, oh, can we really do that? Oh, is there a bit of sadness with that? So they finally got one through.
Story choices.
Yeah, they've finally got a belter in that has gone through the censors. It's gone through the filters, and it's
They've got through the FCC.
The Fat Controller approved it.
Yeah,
it has, and it's all about scary ghosts. Ooh, should have had this
Scary
Halloween
ghosts.
episode.
Well, I'm gonna say it's a bit late. It's a bit late now, lad.
Scary ghosts, scary ghosts.
Oh, we didn't really do stories on Halloween, did we? I mean, we did
We didn't,
stories.
no.
We did.
but
We
not
did three.
like
There was
these
3 stories on Halloween.
We
They were
did
all
do stories.
legitimate
but-
stories.
Yeah, fully
Legitimate
legit.
pet shop based stories.
Real story. All of them were pet shop based. Yeah.
So, are you familiar with like ghost hunting, where people
No.
go to like the supposedly
know.
most
No, can you explain what it is,
Can you
please?
explain what
Well,
ghosts
some
are,
people-
please?
right? So ghosts
Can you
are
mansplain it? Can you samsplain it to me?
Samsplain what
So-
ghosts are first.
So Thomas the Ghost Engine, right?
Does that make
Thomas
ghosts,
the-
or is he a ghost?
Yeah, Thomas the Ghost Engine.
Does he
The
make
ghost
ghosts?
engine is
Surely
that
the
like,
ghost engine makes ghosts, produces more ghosts.
or drives the ghost car?
Is that where the ghosts come from?
That's where the ghosts exist. Yeah, and that's where they are created, just churned out on like a conveyor belt.
Phantom of the
ghosts.
motor.
Did they make like a pop?
So-
as they go like,
Ghosts are scary things that go woo, okay? That may or may not exist depending on your
ghosts.
beliefs.
I didn't realize
Yeah,
that's what they
ghosts.
call. They fly. They sit in the trees and stuff, don't they, at night? I didn't realize
Yeah,
that's what they were
very,
called.
very scary ghosts. Anyway, it's,
What about
it's quite
Casper? I heard he's a friendly ghost.
well, I don't know. I heard that he did some questionable things to some young people.
They
and,
paid a lot of money to keep that quiet, so we're not allowed to talk about that.
I thought
that's why I-
questionable
that's why I
things
didn't bring it
happened to Casper, and that's why there was the 3 bad ones, and he was the young one that they did naughty things to when they were alive and killed him.
As we see quite often, though, people that have been brought up with that trauma often go on to reenact it later in life. And
As
you know,
ghosts, yeah.
Casper went that way, I'm afraid. So yeah, he's a bad ghost now,
Bad
not a
ghost,
friendly
bad
ghost.
Casper.
Bad ghost.
Bad ghost. So yeah, anyway, ghost hunting. People like to go to these supposedly scary places. There's one quite near us in Pontefract, actually. That's one of the most haunted places in the UK. Have you heard of Athelhampton Hall?
No.
Well, that is supposedly one of the most haunted places in the UK as well. It was actually featured on one of those most haunted programs, TV's Most Haunted, back in 2002. It was featured.
With that Derek Akara.
It might, yeah, probably Derek Akora. He's our resident ghost hunter here.
Well, he
isn't
was until he got completely exposed, didn't he?
Well,
He got
probably
exposed by what?
himself.
The ghost pulled his pants down.
No,
Yeah,
they
he
got
exposed himself
like
to Casper. That's how it
they
started.
got like behind the scenes footage, so the cameras were still rolling of them making up the narrative and laughing about it before they did the camera, and it all fucking came out. That's why they stopped doing the show.
I mean, I have to say, I'm not a believer.
In Derek Akara?
No, I don't believe Derek Akora's real. I don't think he's real.
I don't. But he looks too plastic. I swear he was made
Yeah.
by like Armin.
So these spooky ghost houses, anyway, they usually have. There's lots of haunting. Spooky things going
Lots
on,
of
noises.
haunting, no shit.
Lots of haunty things, things that go bump in the night, unexplainable things happening, things being flinged across the table. They normally have like
Flung.
a major talking point, like a particular ghost, like the ghost of the White Lady or something like that. I don't know, but it's usually some kind of spooky Victorian child or something like that. However, Athelhampton Hall. Do you know what haunts Athelhampton Hall?
A horse.
Not horn.
A flying dildo.
You both, if you combine your two answers,
A horse
you're
penis.
very close. No, it's a masturbating monkey. It's haunted by. it's haunted by a masturbating monkey. So people go along to hopefully to hear and catch a glimpse of the spectral monkey playing with itself touching its bits, playing with its balls.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, 100%. There's people go there to try and experience the.
All
the
right,
haunting
okay. When are we going?
Of Martin the monkey. That is what I was going to suggest.
Are we going?
If we can arrange this,
Road trip.
100%.
15th century house near Dorchester.
Where the fuck's Dorchester? It sounds posh.
Yeah, fucking miles away. And it was
South.
built by the Martin family. The story's quite sad of how it happened, but they had a monkey that hung around that witnessed the suicide of one of the young daughters, and it got locked in a room, so goes the story, and it starved itself to death. And ever since then, now this one, unlike Casper, this is supposed to be a friendly ghost. It just likes playing with its
I mean,
spectral
that's
appendage.
why Casper's
what
not a
part?
friendly ghost anymore.
What part of it being starved made it think, oh, well, my unfinished business is masturbating?
Maybe it was
Well,
bored.
what are
and
you
knew it
going to
was
do if you're
die.
a ghost? Yeah, well, yeah, that's all it could do. It was locked in this room with a dead child. It thought, oh well, when in Rome.
It's going to masturbate.
Just be
I
careful.
don't think
Be careful.
that should
of
be
what
your final option. If you're in a room locked in there with a dead child, do not. I repeat, do not start masturbating.
If I'm a monkey, though, I can get away with it.
Yeah, but
can't
you're
I?
not,
It's fine.
Sam. You're not a monkey.
That doesn't hold up in
You
court,
can't
Sam.
get away with it. You can't be like, yeah, but I identify as a monkey. Right? It doesn't work like that.
So, anyway, Martin the monkey. Martin the monkey, right? He's people travel from all around to catch a glimpse, and yeah, I just thought it was.
We should
I thought it was
definitely.
funny.
We definitely need to do
I
this.
I think we should go. We
Yeah, I
should film
do
the
as
whole
well.
thing and see if we can capture Martin the masturbating monkey. Now, something that I did notice in this story is there's some quite nice second mentions in here. Are you
So
familiar
what people
with?
mentioned twice?
No, it's like a journalistic technique where to avoid the stories getting boring and just saying the monkey, the monkey, the monkey every time, they'll come up with different ways of describing
The simian.
monkey.
Oh, like
So-
thesaurus of monkey.
Exactly right, yeah. So it starts off with the ghost of a masturbating monkey, then it goes on to call him a chortling chimp, and then in a very clunky sentence, it calls him a naughty but nice spectral wannabe like woo-woo.
What
You
the
know, wanna be
fuck
like-
is that?
Yeah, that is.
Sounds like a cocktail.
Wanna be
Not
like
the-
woo woo.
Not the best effort. Not the best effort, is it? So yeah, that's what some people like to do. So I thought we'd have a very quick little game of second mentions, right? And I thought it'd make sense to do it with the word rabbit
Okay,
Because-
cool.
because we're the Killer Rabbit podcast. You see,
We're not the
So what I'm
Killer
gonna-
Monkey podcast or the Killer
So what-
Thomas the Tank podcast.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the opening section of the Wikipedia page on rabbits. But every time the word rabbit is mentioned, I want you to alternate with each other by coming up with your own second mentions. So interesting and strange ways to describe rabbits. Do you understand the game?
Yes.
Okay. So the first one will be rabbits, of course. And I'll come to Adam first. I'll let you know when I'm coming to you. So, rabbits, also known as bunnies or bunny, Adam.
What? Do that again. I completely zoned out.
Okay, so so second mentions as many different ways as you can to describe rabbits. So here we go. So rabbits, also known as bunnies or bunny, Adam.
And then I just say what another type of another word
Yeah,
for
yeah,
rabbit or bunny.
Not what, yeah, just like weird ways of describing them, you know, like the spectral wannabe, like woo woo. Anything you can come up with for describing a rabbit. So, rabbits, also known as bunnies or bunny, Adam.
Also known as floppy-eared bouncy balls.
There we go. That's perfect. Okay, so yeah, that's all. That's all you need to do. You just need to say the second mention. I'll do all the story bits, but I'll just let you know when I'm coming to you.
Okay.
So, okay. Are small mammals in the family Leporidae of the order Lagomorpha, which also contains hares and pikas. Oricatulagus cuniculus includes the European, Benson.
Fluffball.
Species and its descendants, the world's 305 breeds of domestic, Adam.
Hoppity toothity.
Sylvilagus includes 13 wild, Benson.
Strange-looking small things that can jump quite high.
Species, among them the 7 types of cottontail. The European, Adam.
Floppy-eared whole liver.
Which has been introduced on every continent except Antarctica, is familiar throughout the world as a wild prey animal and as a domesticated form of livestock and pet. With its widespread effect on ecologies and cultures, the Benson
Rabbit Downer Jr.
is in many areas of the world a part of daily life as food, clothing, companion, and a source of artistic inspiration. Well done, gentlemen. Some good second mentioning there. Enjoying your journalistic skills.
It's
very
very
much.
difficult to come up with different names for something as simple as a rabbit.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking like Carrot Cruncher or
Yeah.
Bugs
What's
Bunny.
up, What's up, Knocker? You know that sort of thing. But there are websites and indeed Twitter accounts that come up with the best second mentions out there. So would you like to hear a few of the ones that this website picked out?
Go on
Yes,
then.
please.
These
Better
are
than ours.
actual examples of second mentions. So the moon has been described as a tide-changing rock. The sun described a sex doll as a lust vessel. Yeah, I don't like that at all. The Times described tea, like tea and biscuits, as the bitter brown infusion. That's going too
What
far.
the
isn't
fuck is that?
And
That's where you draw the line. That's too far.
Yeah,
the Guardian described a fox who ran onto a soccer field as the 4-legged interloper.
wow.
So those are second mentions. So next time you read a story or something, look out for the best second mentions and send them through to us, and I might read them out because that would be fun, wouldn't it, everybody? Yeah,
That'd be so fun. Oh my god, I've never had so much fun in my entire life.
Can you imagine with a capital F? Would you say?
Can we do it? Yeah, can we do it drunk and then we can revisit that question about the craziest things we've done when we're drunk?
Oh God, yeah. Can you imagine that would go down into that? They'd make films about that. The Hangover 4, where they sit round and do second mentions all night.
Hilarious.
Yeah, absolutely. The hijinks we get into.
Yeah, crazy.
Shall we wrap this one up, gentlemen?
Like a present.
Let's
at
wrap
Christmas.
it up into a small Christmas parcel.
A
Oh, you both
parcel.
went with the Christmas theme.
A Christmas
I like
parcel.
that. Let's wrap it up. Let's stick a bow on it and then throw it into the mailbox.
That's a good point. Because we're not using
Wait,
the
what?
internet, we'll have to post this to everybody.
Shh,
God, yeah,
don't
that's
give
gonna
away
take
the
ages, isn't it?
secrets.
Luckily, we only have 3 listeners, though,
I've
so we can just post
I've
it
been
to 3
training crows for like 6 weeks, so I'm going to try that.
Oh, 6 weeks.
6
It only
weeks I've
takes
been
7 to
training
fully,
them.
fully train them, doesn't it? Only 7 weeks to fully
Yeah,
train
so
them.
I'm going to try that way. I'm going to send it via crow. There'll be a murder turning up soon.
Yeah, I think isn't the exam towards the end of the 7th week? How comfortable are you feeling that you're going to pass the exam?
Well, I'm pretty comfortable, but I've been speaking to a few of the crows, and a few of them are a little bit off. A few of them are a bit nervous,
I think that's
Poe is
natural.
scared,
It's a
Poe
hard
is
time of
very,
year
very
for them as
scared.
well, because they should have flown south by now.
This is it, exactly. And they're sticking around just so they can get this exam out of the way, and then they've got a big trip down south.
It's the only way to train them, though.
Cockneys.
It's the only way
Yeah.
to train them, though, when they've got that incentive of being released to fly south
That's
once
it,
they've finished
exactly.
their
It is.
bidding.
It
Who
is
are
that
you
time
who's
of
so
year.
wise in the ways of birds and
Crows.
crows?
Sir Alan Crowford.
Sheryl Crow.
Russell Crowe.
Yeah, Cheryl and Russell. Did you say one was called
They're the
Poe
master
as well?
and missus of crows. Yeah, one's called Poe.
Poe, Russell, and Cheryl. Lovely crows.
there's
yeah.
one more.
I wish them well.
What, this
that's-
is the second. This is not the first time we've ended an episode talking about crows. That's crazy.
Really? We do like a crow.
it?
Crow
Yeah,
talk.
because we talked about a group of crows.
A murder.
A murder, yeah.
Oh, was that ravens?
No. Crows are a murder. Ravens are awake.
No, I'm not saying.
No,
I know
vultures
what
are
crows
awake.
are. I know the group name for crows.
Okay.
But we talked
was
about
an
a group of
unkindness,
birds at
is
the end
that
of an
ravens?
episode. Yeah, that's it. Unkindness of ravens.
And there we go. Let's end this episode then. If we've done this before, if this is old ground, let's have another sound effect. Dealer's choice, Benson.
It's bye from Sam. It's bye from Benson. And it's bye from Adam.
No, that's not a sound effect. You can't just end the episode like
The
that.
sound
What the fuck do
effect
you think
of
you're
the
doing? What the fuck do you think you're doing, man? You can't just end an episode like that. Oh, fucking hell. I don't know what to do with that.
Just end it like that.
That would be
Don't know where to go.
funny.
Don't know where to go with
Funny. Funny.
Gotta do the readout. Gotta do the call to arms.
The call to arms.
Yeah. Everybody, get in your tanks. This has been Killer Rabbit Podcast.
Thomas has
Have
called.
a few bevies. Go invade your local village in your tank. Let us know how you get on. Send your stories to killerrabbitpodcast@gmail.com or find us on the socials at killerrabbitpod. Come and say hello, share stories, ask us for advice, tell us something funny, give us an impression, recommend something to us, or ask us how to fix the leak in the passenger footwell of your 2018 Citroen Berlingo.
We
Do
will
whatever you
answer,
want.
but You can ask.
Yeah, I think we're all intrigued to know how that went, though, Mr. Court. So if you can, let us know if you got to the end, at the bottom of that problem, and if you do have any other advice that we can give you, or help or support that we can give you, please let us know, and we will put our minds together and do our best for you. But thank you for joining us. Thank you for staying with us. There has been talk of getting together soon and doing the old show, not the old show, but the show as it was before we went remote. But we want to save that for when we're in person, because it just feels a bit disingenuous to do it like this. So at the moment we're just flying by the seat of our pants, but we're having fun. Hopefully you are too.
What is
We'll
the
catch you
seat
next
of
time.
your pants? Can I ask?
It's the bum bit.
That's
bum
the
flap,
seat
flap.
of your pants. So your pants have a seat
Yeah.
within them.
Yeah.
But I can't
Yeah,
sit
yeah,
down.
Well, when you sit down, you sit on the seat, don't you?
Yeah, but the
that's it.
seats, you're sat on chair, which is the seat, right?
No, the chair's a chair.
Well,
A sofa,
take,
sofa,
take a
and
seat. Take a
and
seat
a
doesn't
bench.
mean grab the ass off the pants of the person next to you, does it?
If we've misgendered chairs in the past, so instead of saying take a chair and sit down on it and have a seat on the chair, we've started calling chairs seats, and that's where it's got very confusing.
And on that note,
I've been Sam.
a minute. Yeah. He's been Sam. I've been Benson.
I've been Sam.
I've been Sam.
I've been Sam.
I've been Sam.
No, we're all
I've been
Sam.
Tomasz The Tank.
I've been-
Duh.